What is up, you guys? The Fallout What If here. Today I'm going to be doing the what if of Deku. Well, what if Deku was the reincarnation of Naruto? And I might do another video of this, or I probably might end it off on a good note. But I will do another video of the God of War. And I'm thinking about, since I'm doing gods, I might as well do another god. Well, Deku's going to be doing another god. Let's just say that. Shout out to Last of Us 21 for this. It would be what if Deku met Aphrodite? Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is, after the whole, Deku fighting in the UA Sports Festival, Deku won, and not only that, well, we got into Dabi. Now, Dabi is going to be technically in the reincarnation of Indra. And, well, Deku is going to be, seeing him, and Dabi is technically Sasuke, the reincarnation of him. It doesn't mean he's a good person, it just means that there's technically two powerhouses in there, and how they're going to meet is simple. But before we go into that, here's what's happened after the USJ. After all that, Deku goes home and gets a surprise party from, Jiro, Momo, and Todoroki, actually congratulating him on his strength. And technically, after, them partying and all that stuff, they talked about which heroes are they going to be training under. And Deku doesn't actually have anybody to train with. So, he's just going to be doing his own thing. Since by technicality, there's not that much he can do to train. But, because, he really is stronger than everybody else. Now, anyway. So, Deku gets the party, and not only that, Todoroki and him talk for a while. Deku says, "You wanted to speak with me?" And Todoroki says, "Between the three of us, between, me and Momo, Jiro, who do you like more? And are you going to marry one of us one day?" And Deku says, "Whoa, hold on here. Wait, I didn't know you liked me. And Todoroki says, "Yeah, at first I didn't like you, but now you make me like you. And Deku says, "Why? What sparked this on?" And Todoroki was saying, well, because of the whole fact that he protected her with his life, he felt sad when she was hurt. And not only that, she came trying to help him out. That's what Kurama told him. That Todoroki went and actually, he actually, tried to help out Deku and try to save her, but he never knew the whole details of it. Kurama told her, sheesh, I forgot what I was going to say, but, Kurama told her the whole thing, told Izuku the whole thing, and Izuku kind of felt that, Hinata vibe, she tried everything, and not only that, it almost led to her death, which technically scared him, and, it's kind of it's kind of a relief that nobody died, especially those three. But in the end, Deku says, I don't know, to be honest. I really don't. Well, right now I'm just young, so I don't have to worry about that kind of thing yet. And she says, I see. And this is when she says, well, if you ever do want to marry someone, I wouldn't mind if it was to be with you. And Deku says, wait, are you saying what I think you're saying? And she says, I'm not going to say it twice. And this is when Deku says, oh, come on now. Well, I would like to hear it again. And she says, I wouldn't mind if it was you. And Deku says, you like me. And she starts, freezing up the room. And this is when Deku says, alright, I'm just playing around. And Todoroki jumps on him and says, don't tell anybody about this. Do you hear me? Deku says, alright, I'm not going to tell anybody. Let's just calm it down a bit. I promise. And this is when Todoroki basically just gives him a big kiss. And, well, Momo and Jiro decided that this was the perfect time to actually, hang around with Deku. And while this was happening, Todoroki was flustered. And Deku says, alright, I'll talk to you later. And basically jumps out of the window. This is when Todoroki starts explaining himself to Momo and Jiro. And, well, Deku is basically running around and stuff, going, somewhere, and he realizes that he's going to the store. So he says, I might as well get a snack over there since, I'm still kind of hungry. Kurama says, you're gonna have to go back to that house. And he says, yeah, I understand that, but it's I'm screwed, aren't I? Kurama says, yes you are. Deku says, a lot of yelling? Most likely. And this is when he says, I'm gonna get smacked in the head, aren't I? And Kurama says, you remember Sakura, right? And he says, yes, I remember Sakura. And he's like, just duck. Just duck and don't do anything stupid, Deku. This is when Deku is walking around now, and he says, oh, man, I still can't believe that this world is so advanced. And Kurama says, oh yes, it's been a very long time. Our world is different. Nobody knows who we are. Nobody would know who the Hokages are or who anybody else is. I wonder, are we ever going to be seeing the people we truly cared about? And Deku says, I don't know. To be honest, I'm scared. I'm scared of, losing memories. Having to gain new memories. And having to remember such a past where I could have done something else. I'm scared of losing people now. I remember wanting to be Hokage. Now I want to be a hero. I wonder, what is this world to us? Kurama says, I don't know. It's because we now live in a new world that we want to change the lives of humans, and we want to protect them. But still, I do sense that there's somebody around us. Deku starts looking around. seen behind him, in front of him. And this is when he realizes that the ground shook a couple of seconds until a Chidori just shoots up in the sky. And this is when Deku says, "Hold on, that can't be." And this is when basically Dabi just falls down and is landing on, well, technically it lands next to him, and he says, "Naruto Uzumaki." And Deku says, "Are you perhaps Sasuke Uchiha?" And this is when Dabi says, "I haven't heard the name Uchiha in a long time, but I am Sasuke." And Deku says, "Alright, it's been a long time, buddy. How you been?" And this is when Kurama says, "Do you not smell that, Naruto?" Deku says, "What?" And he says, "The smell of death, and the smell of burnt skin." And Deku looks closely at him, and he realizes that he's covered in scars, in burn marks. It looks so disgusting. And Deku says, "What happened to you?" And Dabi says, "It's because of him, my father. I don't know what to do." This is when Deku starts to talk to him and says, "Wait, did you know, how long was it, how long has it been since, we talked?" And Dabi says, "Look, Naruto, I'm not the same person that I was before. I changed." And this is when Deku says, "What? What do you mean you changed? You still look the same. Yeah, sure, you're different, and, you're not an Uchiha anymore." This is when Sasuke says, "It's not the Uchiha part. It's the fact that this world is much more colder than I thought." And Deku says, "What do you mean?" And this is when Todoroki says, "Look around us. There's heroes, but there's villains. There's people that just don't care about the world. It used to be our world. It used to make, sheesh." Sasuke explains that our world used to go by laws and regulations, and it made us go through this life. But this life doesn't care about any of that. It only cares about itself. And Deku understands what he's trying to say, because in Naruto, the people usually stood by their own nation. As much as I remembered, a lot of them just talked about, their nation and all that stuff. But nowadays, people just care about there's a hero, or people don't actually have faith in them anymore. Or, they don't have like that, the Hokage, who would just protect them, and people would look up to, and start doing their own thing. Instead, they're they can't even protect themselves due to the law of you can't use a quirk. So Deku explains to him that, of course, things are not the same way, but if you think about it, it changed. It's better than it was beforehand. There's no need for senseless violence. There's no need for senseless... Sheesh. Sorry about that. There's no need for senseless violence. And Dabi says, "I know that there's no need for that anymore. But now we have another issue. More villains nowadays are shooting up due to the fact of, asserting someone." And Deku is saying, "What do you mean?" And Dabi explains that because of more villains coming up out of the woodwork, it's no longer clan versus clan. It's no longer a village versus a village, a nation versus a nation. This is just bad versus evil, and we're losing to it every single day. And Deku says, what do you want to do about it? We could save people, and we could start putting them into jails. And this is when Dabi puts down a scroll and starts putting him on it starts summoning all the bodies of evil people that have shown up. And it's actually so much that nobody can actually see the scroll anymore. Not only that, it's so much so that it looks just like a pile of, dead corpses. And this is when Deku says, I see. But wait a minute. How did you, realize who I was? Well, it's technically because of you. And Deku says, because of me? And this is when Dabi says, I remembered everything. Every single last thing that happened. And Sasuke just talks about Hagoromo, how he got so much of his past life that he realizes who he was. Now, Deku says, look, I understand that now we're in this new world, and you see what's happening, but we can change things still. We can still make something good out of it. And this is when Dabi says, if you can fight me and at least show me how much you improved, then I'll consider not, destroying this, I'll stop killing villains and I'll start doing your plan. And Deku says, alright, but I'm not going to go easy on you. Dabi says, of course. And stop calling me Dabi now. It's weird. My real name is Toya. Toya Todoroki. And Deku says, wait, you're Shota's sister? And Sasuke says, yes, I am. And this is when Deku says, oh boy. Well, technically you're not going to care as much, but your sister likes me. And this is when Deku says, yeah, I really don't want to speak about this, It's so weird now that we have our memories back again. I guess this is why nobody remembers their past life, because it's such a weird thing to think about. Deku says, alright. I'm getting tired, but let's get on with this. Sasuke says, alright. And this is when Sasuke actually shoots out his Mangekyo. And Deku says, wait, how did you get that? And this is when Dabi says, this is when Sasuke says, well, I actually talked with Hagoromo, and he said I can have my Sharingan back. Not only that I'm fully capable now of using my jutsus. Plus, I learned a couple of techniques while I remembered my whole past life. And Deku says, what's that? You know how you have your freaking Sage mode and your freaking KCM mode. And this is when Deku says, yep, yeah, I have that still. So don't you think I'm not going to go easy on you? This is when Sasuke says, well, I have something else. I have something that, beated the legendary Madara Uchiha. And he says, wait, what was that? And Sasuke says, oh, you don't remember, huh? Yep, it's something that Might Guy usually said, second gate opened. Now, if you guys are wondering how in the world can he do that, think about it. He has his own strength. He has his Sharingan back. Not only that, he's pretty much already strong. I mean, he doesn't work out the same way as the Uchiha. I mean, as Might Guy. But with Dabi's current strength, he can only go up to the second... He can go up to the second, what is it called? Second gate. So this is when these two start charging at each other. Deku just uses KCM mode and just starts running and blitzing around. While this happens, Sasuke does the same thing too, and they both punch each other in the face. And now they're both pushed back. This is when they're on the ground. Naruto and Sasuke start laughing. This is when Deku starts getting up again. And this is when Sasuke starts getting up again, but shooting out flames out of his hands. And this is when Naruto says, "Wait, you can shoot, you have a quirk?" And Dabi says, "Of course I have a quirk. Don't you have a quirk?" And Deku says, let me guess. You basically, this whole time, you've been using just your, you have basically, your abilities from the past." And Deku says, hey, I don't want to talk about it. You have special abilities. I don't. And this is when Sasuke says, and I guess using Kurama is nothing more than just that. And this is when Deku says, "Hey, I tried. I don't have a quirk. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to still knock you out." And these two start going at it. Fist after fist, kick after kick. This is when Sasuke starts using his hands. And he shoots out black flames. And he says, Deku says, "Amaterasu, really?" And now, Dabi says, "Hey, you have freaking Kurama. I still have all my ninjutsu." And these are when these two start fighting again. Deku summons two clones to start fighting him by himself. Or fighting Sasuke by himself. And Deku just goes backwards. Actually starts to do a couple of jutsus. And he starts weaving hand signs. And he just summons a freaking wood golem. Yeah, he can summon a wood golem. No, he doesn't summon a wood golem. I'm just messing with you. But he does summon a what's it called? He does summon a water dragon. And while this is happening, Sasuke killed one of the clones. And when he's about to kill the other one, it actually turns into an explosion. Sasuke already saw through this and is actually going backwards. But until he saw that, he didn't see the water dragon. So Sasuke basically just grabbed a Chidori and just cut through it, or pierced through it. Now, this is when Deku starts to he starts to do his training, not his training. He starts to shoot out another water dragon, but he actually gets swapped out by Sasuke's Reni Sharingan, because even though he may not be 100%, the way he was before, it doesn't mean his skills are any duller, because Sasuke is a protege. Not only that, he has the Sharingan, which is a cheat. Which is an ultimate cheat. I don't care who you are, that's still cheaty, in a way. But Deku just starts fighting him again. And while this is happening, Deku actually is about to land a punch. But Sasuke actually says, I forgot what he usually says, but in Pain's words, almighty push. And gets pushed backwards by a heavy, by a force that hit him so hard that Deku was kind of wobbly for a second there. But after all that, Sasuke actually starts using his own jutsus. He starts weaving he starts to weave something for fire, and after that, something for air. And he shoots both of them out with a clone that he's made of his own. and these two make a fire that is so strong that it basically so strong that it makes like not a tornado, but it makes like a big wave of fire coming towards Deku, and Deku doesn't know what to do, but he just basically takes the hit, and he says, Sasuke, over those past years that we haven't seen each other, you still are very strong. And I'm going to admit, hold on here. Anyway, so Naruto tells him that he may be strong, but he still is not going to give up on him. So these two start fighting again. And while this is happening, Deku is actually seeing that Sasuke is actually getting better and better the more they fight, actually remembering all of Naruto's moves again. And this is when Deku starts to remember. And he actually uses his Sage mode. And now he's basically KCM Sage mode. And after that, he says, I might as well try this other trick that I pulled off. And he uses his third KCM mode. Which basically, if you remembered, he basically has 9 tails out of his body. And not only that, his face looks a little different. But Sasuke says, that doesn't matter to me. And he shoots out a Chidori, hitting Deku in the stomach, actually causing him to, feel pain, because he thought he was going to Sasuke was going to let him go at full power, but he was technically wrong. So Deku basically is on the ground. But Sasuke says, you see, what did I tell you? Now in the very end, you have to listen to... And this is when Deku freaking kicks him in the face, saying, I'm not done yet. And this is when he actually finds out that Kuruma's chakra is actually cut off for now. And Deku says, so you remembered about me and Kuruma? And Sasuke says, yes. You didn't think I was going to let you use more of your abilities? And Deku says, yeah, but, I thought we were going to have a fair fight. Sasuke says, fair fight? Don't you understand? If you're going to fight me, you're going to have to play dirty. And Deku says, you really want that? Fine, I'll show you something. I'll show you a new technique that I've tried. And Deku starts to go. Hold on here. Alright, sorry guys, I couldn't find any actual Sage second version of Sage mode. So, here's how I'm going to explain it. Deku has basically now 2 horns out of actually a frog that is known as the horned frog, which has a couple of horns, but, wanted to give Deku one. So basically, now that he has a second version of a purified Sage mode, what this does is basically give him his Sage mode abilities, and now he at least can use Toad Oil at will. Let's see, he has expert chakra control. Not only that, without Kurama, he doesn't actually have to worry about combining the two at the moment, and he can see things at very high speeds. And yeah, pretty much those things plus a couple of more. So while these two are fighting, Sasuke decides to try to use a Chidori, but Sasuke gets grabbed from his hand and gets slammed down to the ground. Now Sasuke is only strong enough to use the first gate, in which he says, "How did you get strong?" And Deku says, "Because I still have people like you." And sorry about that. Oh, sorry about that. So he says, "It's because I have people like you, like Todoroki. That's also me." Of course, okay, that's also you. I'm talking about your sister. Gosh. And my teachers, some of the students, even a couple of rivals of mine, they're pushing me still to keep getting better. But not only that, it's because I care about them still. Even if they're not the people that I knew in my past. It doesn't matter if my past or my future is around me. That is because I have to worry about the present. Sasuke, just know this. If you become the same person that you were if you become the same Sasuke that I remembered when I was a teenager, just know that I'm coming for you. I will not allow you to die. Because I care about you too much. And I care about this world too much. You're not going to kill yourself. Nor am I going to let you just suffer alone. Please, just know that if we ever cross paths again, I will change you. And hopefully for the better. Sasuke just looks down and says, "I hope you can. I just hope you can. Goodbye, Naruto. May we meet again soon." Deku says, "Alright, Sasuke." And these two actually go on their separate ways. This is when Kurama says, "You know we could have beaten him if we used our KCM4. And Deku says, I know. But at the same time, I want him to live happy again. And sure, maybe right now he's not having it yet. But I still have to believe. If I don't believe in my own friend, how could I even call myself a friend if I don't have the belief in him?" Kurama says, "Hopefully the past doesn't repeat itself." Deku says, "I know. I hope for the best. And if we ever do meet each other, maybe he can be happier." Now, Deku, after all that, basically says, "Alright, I'm getting tired. Kurama, let's just go home." And he says, this is when Deku concentrates. And this is when basically he lands on the three girls, because they're technically, they're not like hitting each other, but they're like, arguing and being a little physical, but not in that dirty way. So Deku lands on three of them, and he gets up explaining himself, and I'm going to leave it up for tomorrow. Since tomorrow's Saturday, I could actually do so much what-ifs. Hopefully I can get 3 what-ifs done at maximum. Sheesh. Anyway, hopefully you guys liked what I sent you. Hopefully you liked the video. Either way, like, comment, do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout What If here. Bye.